Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
How discourse is analyzed in discourse analysis. Discourse analysis is a broad and interdisciplinary field that examines how language is used in texts, conversations, and social contexts to construct meaning, convey power, and shape identities. The analysis of discourse involves a variety of approaches and methods, depending on the specific focus, such as spoken or written language, interactional or institutional contexts, and the relationship between language and power. Below is an overview of how discourse is analyzed, touching on the key aspects, methodologies, and examples. 1. Key aspects of discourse analysis. Textual analysis. What is it? Textual analysis focuses on the detailed examination of language in a text, including vocabulary, grammar, syntax, and rhetorical strategies. Why is it important? Understanding how language is structured within a text helps to reveal how meaning is constructed and how different linguistic choices shape the reader's or listener's interpretation. Example: analyzing a political speech might involve examining the use of metaphors, repetition, and passive voice to understand how the speaker constructs authority and persuades the audience. Contextual analysis. What is it? Contextual analysis examines how language is used within specific social, cultural, and historical contexts. This includes understanding the situational factors that influence how discourse is produced and interpreted. Why is it important? Language does not exist in a vacuum. It is deeply influenced by the context in which it is used. Contextual analysis helps to uncover the broader implications of discourse, such as how it reflects or challenges social norms. Example: in analyzing a news article about immigration, one might consider the broader political climate, the target audience, and the publication's editorial stance to understand how the issue is being framed. Interactional analysis. What is it? Interactional analysis focuses on the dynamics of spoken discourse, particularly in conversations. It examines how participants take turns, manage topics, and construct social relationships through language. Why is it important? Interactional analysis reveals how language functions in real-time communication, showing how meaning is negotiated between speakers and how social roles are enacted. Example: in a customer service interaction, the analysis might focus on how the service representative uses politeness strategies to manage the customer's satisfaction and maintain a professional relationship. Intertextual analysis. What is it? Intertextual analysis examines how texts reference, borrow from, or respond to other texts. This includes looking at how discourse is shaped by previous conversations, cultural narratives, or media. Why is it important? Understanding intertextuality helps to reveal how meaning is constructed across different texts and how discourses are interconnected within a larger cultural or ideological framework. Example: a political debate might reference historical speeches, legal documents, or popular culture to lend authority to arguments or appeal to specific audiences. Critical discourse analysis, CDA. What is it? CDA is a specific approach within discourse analysis that focuses on the relationship between language, power, and ideology. It examines how discourse is used to maintain or challenge power structures and social inequalities. Why is it important? CDA is particularly concerned with uncovering the hidden power dynamics in language, showing how discourse can reinforce or resist dominant ideologies. Example: analyzing the discourse around welfare in political speeches might reveal how language is used to construct narratives of dependency or entitlement, which in turn influences public policy and social attitudes. Point 2. Methodological approaches in discourse analysis. Conversation analysis, CA. What is it? CA is a method that focuses on the fine-grained analysis of everyday conversations. It examines how participants manage turn-taking, repairs, adjacency pairs, and the overall structure of talk. Why is it important? CA provides insights into the subtle, often unconscious ways that people organize their interactions and how social order is maintained through language. Example: Analyzing a phone conversation might involve examining how speakers negotiate who speaks next, how they handle interruptions, and how they close the conversation. Narrative analysis. What is it? Narrative analysis focuses on how stories are structured and told in discourse. It examines the roles of narrator and audience, the sequencing of events, and the use of narrative devices. Why is it important? Narratives are a fundamental way in which people make sense of the world, and analyzing them reveals how individuals and groups construct identities, values, and social realities. Example: analyzing personal stories shared in therapy sessions might reveal how individuals narrate their experiences to construct a coherent self-identity and seek validation. Ethnography of communication. What is it? This approach, developed by Del Hymes, combines linguistic analysis with cultural anthropology to study how language use varies across different cultural contexts and social groups. Why is it important? It provides a deep understanding of how communication practices are embedded in cultural norms, social roles, and community values. Example: analyzing how greetings vary in different cultures can reveal the underlying social norms about respect, formality, and relationship dynamics. Multimodal discourse analysis. What is it? Multimodal analysis extends discourse analysis beyond language to include other modes of communication, such as images, gestures, layout, and sound. Why is it important? In an increasingly visual and digital world, understanding how meaning is constructed through multiple modes of communication is crucial. Example: analyzing an advertisement might involve examining how images, text, color, and design work together to create a persuasive message. Corpus-based discourse analysis. What is it? This approach involves the use of large digital collections of texts, corpora, to analyze patterns in language use across different contexts and genres. Why is it important? Corpus-based analysis allows for the examination of language trends and patterns on a large scale, providing empirical evidence to support discourse analysis. Example: analyzing a corpus of political speeches over time might reveal shifts in language use that correspond to changes in political ideology or public opinion. Point 3. Examples of discourse analysis in practice. Example 1. Political discourse. Textual analysis. Examining how a politician uses rhetorical devices like repetition, metaphor, and parallelism to persuade an audience. Contextual analysis. Understanding how the speech fits within the broader political climate, such as during an election campaign or a crisis. Critical discourse analysis. Analyzing how the speech constructs ideologies of nationalism or populism, reinforcing certain power structures. Example 2. Media discourse. Intertextual analysis. Analyzing how a news article references previous reports, official statements, and cultural narratives to construct a particular framing of an event. Multimodal analysis. Examining how the layout, images, and headlines in a newspaper article work together to shape the reader's understanding. Ethnography of communication. Studying how media discourse varies across different cultural contexts, such as how news is reported in different countries. Example 3. Educational discourse. Conversation analysis. Analyzing classroom interactions to understand how teachers manage turn-taking, ask questions, and provide feedback. Narrative analysis. Examining how students narrate their learning experiences or how educational materials present historical narratives. Critical discourse analysis. Investigating how educational policies and curricula reflect and reinforce societal power structures, such as class, race, and gender. Point 4. Limitations and what cannot be covered. Discourse analysis is an extensive and multifaceted field, and not all aspects can be covered exhaustively in one article. Here are some areas that may require further exploration. Specific theoretical approaches. Detailed discussions on specific theories, such as post-structuralism, sociolinguistics, or semiotics, can provide more depth but are beyond the scope of a general overview. In-depth methodologies. Each methodological approach, such as corpus linguistics or ethnography, has its own set of tools and techniques that would require detailed exploration. Specialized applications. Discourse analysis is applied in various fields, including law, healthcare, and digital media, each with its own specialized methods and concerns. Global and cross-cultural perspectives. Discourse analysis can vary significantly across different cultural contexts, and a comprehensive global perspective would require additional study. Conclusion: discourse analysis offers a powerful set of tools for examining how language shapes and is shaped by social contexts. By going beyond the level of individual sentences to analyze larger discourse structures, interactions, and the interplay of language with power and ideology, discourse analysis provides deep insights into communication, identity, and social order. While this overview touches on the key aspects and methods, the field is vast, and each area of discourse analysis can be further explored in depth to fully appreciate its scope and impact. Frequently asked questions. What is discourse analysis? Discourse analysis is an interdisciplinary field that examines how language is used in texts, conversations, and social contexts to construct meaning, convey power, and shape identities. It involves analyzing how language functions beyond individual sentences, considering larger discourse structures, context, and interaction. What are the key aspects of discourse analysis? The key aspects of discourse analysis include textual analysis, examining vocabulary, grammar, syntax, and rhetorical strategies in a text. Contextual analysis, understanding how language is influenced by social, cultural, and historical contexts. Interactional analysis, focusing on spoken discourse dynamics, such as turn-taking and topic management. Intertextual analysis, exploring how texts reference or respond to other texts. Critical discourse analysis, CDA, investigating the relationship between language, power, and ideology. How is textual analysis used in discourse analysis? Textual analysis involves a detailed examination of language within a text, including the choice of words, sentence structure, and rhetorical devices. This analysis helps reveal how meaning is constructed and how different linguistic choices shape interpretation. For example, in a political speech, analyzing the use of metaphors and repetition can show how the speaker aims to persuade the audience. Why is contextual analysis important in discourse analysis? Contextual analysis is crucial because language does not exist in isolation. It is shaped by the social, cultural, and historical context in which it is used. By analyzing these contextual factors, discourse analysts can uncover the broader implications of a text, such as how it reflects or challenges social norms. What is interactional analysis in discourse analysis? Interactional analysis focuses on the dynamics of spoken discourse, particularly in conversations. It examines how participants manage turn-taking, construct topics, and build social relationships through language. This analysis reveals how meaning is negotiated in real-time communication and how social roles are enacted. How does intertextual analysis contribute to discourse analysis? Intertextual analysis examines how texts reference or borrow from other texts, revealing how meaning is constructed across different discourses. This analysis helps to understand how discourses are interconnected and how they contribute to broader cultural or ideological frameworks. For instance, a political debate may reference historical speeches to lend authority to arguments. What is critical discourse analysis, CDA? CDA is a specific approach within discourse analysis that focuses on the relationship between language, power, and ideology. It examines how discourse is used to maintain or challenge power structures and social inequalities. CDA is concerned with uncovering hidden power dynamics in language, such as how political speeches construct narratives of dependency or entitlement. What are some common methodological approaches in discourse analysis? Some common methodological approaches include conversation analysis, CA, focuses on the fine-grained analysis of everyday conversations. Narrative analysis examines how stories are structured and told in discourse. Ethnography of communication studies how language use varies across different cultural contexts. Multimodal discourse analysis analyzes communication across multiple modes, such as images, gestures, and text. Corpus-based discourse analysis uses large digital collections of texts, corpora, to analyze patterns in language use. How is conversation analysis, CA, conducted? CA involves a detailed examination of how participants manage turn-taking, repairs, adjacency pairs, and the overall structure of talk in everyday conversations. It provides insights into the subtle ways people organize their interactions and maintain social order through language. What is multimodal discourse analysis, and why is it important? Multimodal discourse analysis extends traditional discourse analysis to include other modes of communication, such as images, gestures, and sound. This approach is crucial in an increasingly visual and digital world, where meaning is often constructed through a combination of different semiotic resources. For example, in advertising, text, images, and design elements work together to create a persuasive message. Can you give an example of how discourse analysis is applied to media discourse? In media discourse, discourse analysis might involve intertextual analysis to see how a news article references previous reports and official statements, shaping the framing of an event. Multimodal analysis might be used to examine how the layout, images, and headlines in a newspaper article work together to influence the reader's understanding. What are some limitations of discourse analysis? Some limitations include complexity of analysis. Detailed analysis can be time-consuming and requires specialized knowledge. Interpretive challenges. Analyzing discourse often involves subjective interpretation, which can vary between analysts. Scope and focus. Discourse analysis covers a broad range of areas, and it may be challenging to cover all aspects comprehensively in a single study. Why is discourse analysis a powerful tool for understanding communication? Discourse analysis is powerful because it goes beyond analyzing individual sentences to explore how language functions within larger contexts, interactions, and social structures. It provides deep insights into how language shapes and is shaped by social realities, revealing the subtle ways in which meaning, power, and identity are constructed and negotiated through discourse.